Hello my boys, good morning. In this beautiful day we're gonna talk about the Warbringer and why it's the best totem class by far. Especially for casual players and new players. I mean, if you suck at the game, just do a totem build with Warbringer and you'll have a good time. Mwah! So my boys, I've been playing Warbringer since patch 0.1. 0.2 I league started with it, played the entire league, very powerful build, very sexy. But in patch 0.3 they did some changes to the build out of nowhere and now it's much more stronger. And in this video I will explain all the changes that happened and so you get an understanding both for ballistas and melee totems, which is incredible. Let's get started. So my boys, here is the Warbringer Ascendancy and I will explain each node with visual exemplification so it's easier for you to understand. So what happened in patch 0.3? First of all, this node was buffed to the moon. So this buff was already interesting. Basically, when you summon totems, you get some spirits with various effects. Some effects give more damage, some give more defenses. For example, here I get 20% increased skill speed. Big damage boost here. So what changed here is that we get one extra totem on top. So for example, here in patch 0.2 I have 4 totems. In the next patch I will have 5 totems. The more totems you have, the better. Each totem it's a big damage multiplier for all the builds. More totems, more damage, which is great. Not only that I will get 5 totems, I will also get 5 minions. And these minions do multiple things. First of all, they act like mixed shields, they will absorb damage for you, they will give offensive buffs, defensive buffs. For example, there is a turtle here that will raise my defenses, global defenses by 80% and will give me 40% block chance, that's a lot. There is another minion that will trap the enemies in Jade. This works also for unique bosses and once they are trapped they cannot move. If they cannot move you summon totems and you play away from far distance, pretty safe. Yeah. Good, and in this patch also the minions will get summoned instantly. Now if you notice I put a totem and the minion takes a couple of 1-2 seconds until they spawn. In the next patch they will spawn instantly. Now boys, not only that the minions will appear instantly when you summon a totem, but we got some other nice buffs. For example, here we get 50% increased damage from Jade Hulk. This is new. So we have 20% skill speed for offensive buffs. Now on top of that we get 50% increased damage. Mwah! This is beautiful. Even the turtles now have increased area of effect, so the turtles will increase your global defenses by 80%. That's a lot. Will give you an aura that gives you 40% block chance. This is useful for campaign progression, for example. Pretty much even here for the skill speed from the horn, now it will last longer, will have increased area of effect. Man, this is too good. So not only that we get 5 totems, we get 5 minions on top. Yeah, and it gets even better because these minions can be supported with various skills and you can put here utility skills. For example, Culling Strike, Blind, you put a lot of utility skills that will help you. So they act like mid shields, they give you offensive buffs, they give you defensive buffs and you can support gems on top. So this is a zoo build at this moment. We have totems and spirits, this is just too good. But it gets even better. On the second lab, you can take wooden wall. When you get hit, 20% of the damage that you receive from the enemies, this applies to spells and attacks, will get redirected to a nearby totem. So because we have 5 totems, we spam them all the time, they will absorb damage for us. This is great. I mean, even if you go ballistas, even if you go with melee, it will still be a take because this is a big defensive layer on top. This is a unique effect that you will not see anywhere else on the skill tree. Very powerful node here, wooden wall. Now, depends what you want to do because you need to understand that the spirits that you receive here, they work both with melee totems and they also work with ballistas. So let me put a crossbow here and let me put artillery ballista. Artillery ballista. And let's summon it. You'll notice that I summon artillery ballistas and I'm still getting the minions. So not only that I will have 5 artillery ballistas, I will also have 5 minions, yeah? For the last few days I explained once I reach level 90 with my Warbringer, I want to test also the new cannon ballista with grenades. Because it's perfectly viable on the Warbringer, which is a great ascendancy even for ballistas, yeah? So you get 5 ballistas that will also spawn spirits. The ballistas will absorb damage for you. This is a big defensive boost because if you use a crossbow you don't have a shield. It's problematic, but it gets even better with this one here. So if you like to go with ballistas, you will take Jade Heritage. And this got buffed too. Jade Heritage is a passive buff that will raise your this one estimated physical damage reduction. So instead of 64, if you have Jade Heritage, you will have 74. What happened in this patch 0.3, you no longer lose the charges. If you would get hit from an attack, you would lose the charge and you have less physical. Now you don't lose them anymore. So passively, just by allocating these things, you will have 10 extra. In my case, 74% physical damage reduction. That is big. Not only that, this is an active skill that will give you a guard shield that will absorb damage. So let's say you're fighting a hard boss, you can use your stacks which will be at your maximum capacity and will give you a guard shield based on your maximum life. And guess what? Because we're playing a Warbringer, we tend to be very tanky with a lot of life regen. So this will give you a shit ton of guard shield. If you don't know what is guard, let me demonstrate. Because I have this flask. You see, this is guard. It will absorb damage and yeah. So you have it here when you fight a hard boss. You will trigger Jade Heritage and will give you shit ton of guard. Yeah, and you will not die. So this is especially good for ballistas. I mean, casual players and new players, they tend to die a lot. So it's not only about damage, it's also about the defenses. Yeah, and for defenses, this helps a lot. The ballistas will mitigate 20% of the damage that you take. You also have Jade Heritage that will give you guard and passively raise your estimated physical damage reduction, which is too good. Now let's get moving here because I'm playing melee totems and our league start with melee totems. We're gonna take this route. So here endless training, it was changed from 40% to 35%. You need to understand that doesn't matter the shield that you're wearing, this node overrides the effect. So pretty much it will help you to reach maximum block very easy with this one, but it gets even better with this one here, Turtle Charm. Now Turtle Charm was reworked in patch 0.3. It no longer works like this because they reworked how block works for all the classes. In patch 0.3, the block cap will no longer be 75%, it will be 50% for all the classes, but the block can block damage from all hits, just like we have Turtle Charm now for the Warbringer. What they did instead for the Warbringer, it raises the maximum block from 50% to 75%, which is a lot. Also remove the penalty, 25% less block chance, which will be a big update for my build here, because this penalty made me invest more into block chance nodes, yeah? And because we no longer have this penalty, this will free up like 7-10 skill point nodes. So more skill points to allocate elsewhere. This is great. It comes with a downside, but it's not a big deal. So let me see here. You take 30% of the damage from blocked hits, but remember, this build has a lot of life regeneration. In patch 0.3 I'll go for even more life regeneration, so we're not gonna feel it. It's not that bad as people think. For example, glancing hits, when I took it, you don't even feel it, you don't see it. I mean, yeah, 30%, but we will compensate with a lot of life regeneration. But my boys, it goes even better than this. If you read this note here, it says maximum block chance is 75%. So this is similar to the effect from Path of Exile 1. Let me show you. I need to explain a few things. Maligaros Virtuosity. Let's check these gloves from Path of Exile 1. It says here, your critical strike multiplier is 300. So it's fixed, you cannot change it. This is the exact wording. Yeah, your maximum block chance is 75%, so you cannot change it. And this is great, because let's say you do a waystone that has some map modifiers that will reduce your block chance, or some monsters that will reduce your block chance, it will not happen. So again, increases and reductions to block chance will not affect this value. 75% is fixed. So again, some waystones and some monsters will reduce your block chance, but we will not get affected. It will remain 75%. And remember, for the max version, for my build here, we always go with Svalin. So later we can equip a Svalin and we're gonna have much more block chance. It's because of this line here, block chance is lucky. And you need to understand, because our block chance is fixed to 75%, we will not feel the maximum block chance penalty. So Svalin can run from -20 to -10 to maximum block chance. This is a penalty because getting lucky hits is too powerful. But because our block chance on the Warbringer in patch 0.3 it will be fixed 75%, we will not feel the penalty. Actually, this shield will be insane for maxing in the next league. Yeah, which is great. You need to understand this. So people say that it will nerf in patch 0.3. No, it's actually better. The Turtle Charm in patch 0.3, it's actually better. You want to stack a lot of life, you want to stack a lot of life recoup and life regeneration, so you don't feel that much the downside with 30% of damage from blocked hits. This is the idea. So in conclusion, my boys, you need to understand that the reward to Warbringer is the best class for totems, by far. Even if you want to go with ballistas, this is strong, especially for new players or casuals, they tend to die a lot. So you know, they reach waystone 15, waystone 16, and they get one-shotting like no tomorrow. Because, of course, if you do the early waystone progression, it will be easy. Monsters are easy, they don't do a lot of damage, but as far as you go with the waystone progression, it will get harder and harder. So new players don't understand this thing. The higher you progress to the Waystones, the monsters harder they get. And I mean, if you don't have good defensive layers in the Waystone 15 and 16, you will get one-shotted. A lot of people complained of getting one-shotted, but not on Warbringer. Warbringer is very tanky. It's ideal for casual players and new Path of Exile 2 players. So again, in patch 0.3, I will bleak start with my Totem Master build. In case you missed it, this is a build that I've been playing since patch 0.1. Very strong in patch 0.2. There were a lot of changes in patch 0.3, but it's still viable. Yeah. So I made a video on YouTube here on how to league start with this. Even though we don't have the skill tree, you can still follow the video and understand the progression. You even have a VOD on Twitch that will show you how to level a warrior from level 1 until we transition into my totem build. Pretty much is 90% unchanged, yeah? And all that good stuff if you want to do it. And on YouTube I will make daily summaries of my progress. So each day when I play, I will make a daily summary explaining how it went, my upgrades, my skill tree, etc. Remember, they made some changes to the skill tree, which is very important to take count of it. I'm also working on the league start written guide that you might want to see. So my boys, in conclusion, Warbringer is the GOAT, yo. Enjoy the rest of the day and good luck.